Hi everybody, my name is Lilian Momina. I'm a clinical nutritionist and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want us to discuss some of the tips that you can do to increase your milk supply when you're breastfeeding. If you just had a baby, congratulations. If you're pregnant and expectant, congratulations and all the best during delivery. Make sure to check out the series on pregnancy, on nutrition during pregnancy, how to take care of your vagina postpartum, nutrition during breastfeeding, and you'll get to learn some more tips. So breastfeeding is a very, very beautiful journey. It is very necessary and it is important. So it is to make sure that we get as many women on board willing to do and commit to exclusive breastfeeding for at least 6 months, and we offer support to provide that. If you're in Kenya, in public hospital, there's the nutrition clinic, there's the MCH center whereby mothers you can get support. Even in private clinics they're there. Make sure that if you want to engage in this journey and you don't know how, or you're stuck, or you're wondering what's up, visit a facility and make sure that you get these services. By the way, in the government facilities, they're usually free. Why it's necessary? First, it is available and it is readily available, and it is cheaper compared to other milk substitute. So when you choose to breastfeeding, you're going to save some coins, because when you're well nourished, when you're taking care of your health and making sure that you're eating a good balanced meals, and you're taking care of yourself, being properly hydrated and all that, you will be able to provide enough nourishment for the baby. And this you will not need any extra feeds or even water for the next 6 months of life. So you're going to avoid metabolic complication, like maybe obesity in infants, or maybe malnourishment and all these conditions that attack or affect babies who are not exclusively breastfed, or babies who are on other milk substitute. And apart from that, breastfeeding improves immunity and it promotes immunity development of the immune system in the infants. So the mother is able to transfer antibodies directly to the baby through breast milk. So you want to make sure that your baby does not get so many infections. And then studies and research shows that, and it is also a fact, that babies who are exclusively breastfeed are not as prone to infection as babies who are not. So if you can breastfeed, please take that journey with pride and do it with pride, because baby gains the adequate weight when breastfeeding. They don't gain too much or too little. Some of the cues that you will look for to assess if your baby is breastfeeding well. So number one is the suckling and the swallowing effect. So when the baby is getting some milk from you, they will be suckling. You're not supposed to feel that sound, but when you feel it from your breast as a mom, and then you can feel the swallowing. When they're swallowing, they're getting something they're swallowing. So you can assess this to see how much you're producing, and sometimes it can be too much. So make sure that when you're breastfeeding the baby, you're holding onto your breast well, so that just in case the baby starts to choke, you remove it. You remove it fast before it's overwhelming. That is why it is not advisable to breastfeed a newborn or a small baby when you're sleeping. And how the pop looks: is it watery, is it solid, is it semi-solid? A healthy fed baby is supposed to be something where between, so that's something semi-solid. It's not, because if it's solid, it can indicate constipation. If it's too watery, it can indicate an infection or diarrheal diseases. So we want to make sure that you assess this baby to ensure that the baby is feeding enough, and also if they are not pooping enough, they might not be getting adequate nutrition, and something needs to be done to improve your supply. Another thing that you assess to see if your baby is well nourished is weight gain. How good is their weight gain? A healthy baby should be about between 2.5 to 3.5 there. So if you delivered anything in that range, so the baby should be adding at least a minimum of 0.5 grams monthly for the first 6 months, and then by the 6th month they're supposed to have doubled that weight. Make sure that the baby is gaining weight. If your baby is not gaining weight and you've been breastfeeding, or they're losing weight, you need to go back to the hospital and get assessed on what is wrong or what is happening, because it might be maybe there's something wrong with their gut system, or maybe they have an infection that is causing them to not gain weight, or they're not getting enough from your breast milk. So you need to make sure that you get assessed, go get checked, so to avoid the baby being undernourished or being overnourished. Again, if they're gaining too much weight, but again, when you're breastfeeding, it's not so, it happens. Yes, you can, possible to over breastfeed a baby. It is very, very possible. But how can you improve your breast milk supply? This is why we're here. So some of the tips that I will give you, they're very simple, they're easy to follow, and something that you can do when you're at home or with your spouse. So tip number one is hydration. I always talk about this. Breast milk is water, so it's 90% water. It's more than 90% water, so make sure that you're drinking that water. You see, when you're expelling that water, it's fluid, so when you're expelling that fluid, you become dehydrated. Replenish it, because when you're dehydrated, what will happen to the next feed? It will be low. You need to make sure that you maintain the adequacy and the quantities by making sure that you're well hydrated. So drink for 3, eat for 1. Because if I tell you to drink for 2, some of you will just, if you're taking like 4 glasses of water, you'll add an additional 1 glass. No, I want you, if you're taking 4 glasses of water, let's do 8. If you're doing 8, let's do 12. So make sure that you take in more fluids and clear water. Clear water is good because it can be used as a medium, as a solvent, as a catalyst, all those in those metabolic processes. So make sure that you're drinking enough water. And then some of the fluids that you can take when you're breastfeeding, we have broth, we have but don't overdo it. And then number 2, herbs. When you hydrate, it is also easier to add into fluid intake or hydration when you incorporate herbs into your system. So like maybe chia seeds, like you can do fenugreek. Most women report success with using fenugreek and increased lactations or increase milk production. So if it works for you, fenugreek is great. If it doesn't work for you, look for an alternative. You can do chia seed, you can do wheatgrass, you can do hibiscus, you can do lemon tea, you can all these green teas, black teas. Just make sure that you're doing herbs. Herbs are great because they also provide you with other phytonutrients, to micronutrients and vitamins that are great for your health. They improve when you after childbirth, a lot happens. When during childbirth and after childbirth, a lot is happening in your system. There's a lot of repairing, there's a lot of imbalances in terms of nutrients, antioxidants and all that. So increasing a rich herb in your daily routine when you're breastfeeding will not only help you increase your fluid intake, but it will also help you balance your system more. And you see the hormones are also all over. Yeah? And then when you're in a better balanced state, you're in a better metabolic health, and you'll be able to produce more milk for your baby. So let's work on that. And then number 3 is a balanced diet. That one you cannot compromise. Have at least 3 balanced meals, 3 main meals. Have your breakfast, have your lunch, and have your dinner. And then if you're still hungry, do a snack or 2. That is very, very important, because you want to increase the extra 500 kilocalories from the pregnancy needs that we were taking. So if you are doing like 3 meals a day when you're pregnant, please add an extra 1 or 2 snacks that you can incorporate the extra 500 kilocalories, so that you make sure that you're supplying enough to make for your body, so that it can be able to produce enough milk for the baby. It is very, very important, and it is necessary. Make sure you do your carbs, you do protein. You have to do a high protein diet. Why high protein diet? Because protein is the building block, is the building nutrient, it's the one that builds. So you need to make sure that it is in adequate supply to repair your cells, because you're repairing, maybe you're healing your wound because from the delivery processes and all that. And then you also want to make sure that apart from the repairing, you're also producing enough milk, because the milk again is nutrients from you. So again, protein will be tasked with this. Make sure but you also need other nutrients. That's why your milk need to be balanced, because you need the carbohydrates, you need the vitamins and the minerals from maybe the vegetables, from maybe the tubers, from the whole grains and all that. You need the small micronutrients, the zinc, all these from the other. You need the essential fatty acids. All these, they are needed to make sure that you're producing enough. Make sure that you're taking a whole balanced meals. There's a link on nutrition, managing weight when breastfeeding, and I talked about how how your plate should look like and how to well nourish your baby. Make sure to check it out. And then we also have, apart from protein, there's also that thing called power pump. This is a time whereby you assign from the normal like breastfeeding routine. Let's say your baby feeds 8 times a day. So after like maybe the 4th feed, you decide, okay, before the baby, if the baby feeds maybe after every 3 hours, so after the 4th feed, maybe after 1.5 hours, you decide, okay, let me power pump this time. You go take a pump. If you don't have a pump, it's okay. You can just use your 2 fingers. Make sure that you do a scissor in your breast milk. I wish I could show you this, but it's not possible. You do a scissor, and then just slowly, gently take a cup, start massaging your breast milk. Be gentle, just be relaxed, be in the most relaxed atmosphere, environment, and all that. If your baby is sleeping, you can go near them. It will help you with the stimulation and all that, because the sight of the baby will make you will trigger your body to want to produce. So make sure you can watch their video if you have a video of them, or you can make sure that you're just looking at their picture when you're doing that. try for at least two. If you have a pump, great, you can attach your pump and start power pumping for at least 30 minutes. Just by doing so, you're telling your body that we need an extra supply from the normal that you have been giving us. So the body will respond and it will give you the extra supply that you're asking for. So and then you can also do positive affirmations. Motherhood is hard. Being a mom to a new baby, whether it's your first or your second or your third baby, it can be quite overwhelming. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of expectations, the people who are comparing you with someone else. Please, if you can, try and avoid that. Be positive. Try and be positive. Positive affirmation. Have a book, have a diary, write them down. Claim that you're a good mom, that you're doing the best for your baby, that your body is in a position to produce enough for this baby, and your body will listen to you. Be positive. Positivity reduces cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and stress is very, 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 very bad for breastfeeding. So when you're stressed, also manage your stress. Try and whatever situation that you find yourself in that moment, try as much as possible to be as positive as. I know it's easier said than done, but it's very, very possible. Also talk to someone if you're stressed. Have a support system. Make sure that you get the mental and the psychological help that you need. Seek for help. It's not a problem that you want to rest. It's not a problem that you're overwhelmed. It's not a problem that you're feeling anxious. It's not a problem that you don't know what to do. It is very, very normal. Just seek for help. Next one is what we usually seeing everywhere: breastfeeding on demand. So breastfeeding on demand is basically breastfeeding when the baby is hungry. Whether you are power pumping or not, the next supply needs to be, the baby needs to breastfeed. So breastfeed, even if you feel like maybe you power pumped a lot and maybe there might not be enough supply, don't worry about it. Just attach the baby. Make sure the baby is well attached when you're breastfeeding, and also be in a comfortable situation. Sit upright and make sure that you're the most comfortable you can be, and then hold the baby. Let them latch to the breast milk very well. You see the black area of the boob, that should be well covered in their mouth. Then when the baby is breastfeeding, make sure even these areas are well attached to avoid the gas coming in. When you breastfeed your baby well, they're not supposed to swallow in or inhale or swallow gas, so this prevents colic and all that. And you can also get a massage. Massage is good for you. It's self-care. You just had a baby, your body might be stiff, you see. And then also massages will help you relax. When you relax, there's more producing milk, and there's overflow, there's flowing of breast milk. So make sure that you do this. And also, if you believe in lactation cookies, you can do it. Personally, I don't believe in them. I think they might be placebo, but the placebo effect that they have on your mind, that you've taken lactation cookies so you will produce milk, trust me, you will produce milk. So if that works for you, please get the lactation cookies, get the lactation powders, get the lactation biscuits. Just make sure that you do them. They will help, because at the end of the day, regardless of what we are going to do, the end goal is to make sure that we are getting milk for our baby. Then the other one is breast care. Make sure that you're taking care of your breasts well. Sometimes it's very, very possible to get cracked nipples, to get sore nipples, to get mastitis, or maybe to get kuganda kwa maziwa ndani. Like you get that your milk is imegandia ndani ya matiti. It's very, very possible. So what happens when this, what do you do when this happens? You just take a damp cloth with warm water or some, maybe not so hot because you don't want to burn your skin, so you just massage, and then you can get someone to try and help you express, or you get someone to massage your back, you massage your breasts gently, then you express. And then don't give the baby that milk that has fermented or something. Don't give the baby that. Express it and then express it. I know it's liquid gold, but we don't want the baby to get something bad, so express and twirl. And then if it's a cracked nipple, you can use nipple cream, you can use the normal Vaseline, you can use shea butter. Just make sure that you clean that area before the baby feeds, though the baby does not feed the creams. And then hygiene. When you're breastfeeding, hygiene is very, very, very important, because whatever is on your breast, it will go direct to the baby's mouth, and it will go to their gut. You see, again, their gut is not developed. They are depending on you entirely to ensure that whatever that goes into their mind is safe and with this with good hygiene standards. So if you fail them, they will get infections, you see. And their gut is very, very tiny. Their their GIT is just developing. So you want to make sure that your hygiene levels are good. Clean your bras well. Do not recycle bras when you're breastfeeding. It is very common. It is very easy. It is very women are doing it out there. Don't do it. Do not recycle bras when you're breastfeeding, because again, you see, there's that the covering area. You've covered the area. There's warmth. There's, again, maybe you might leak. You see, the conditions for brooding, the infectious agents like the bacteria, maybe fungus, they become very, very friendly. Then you remove the breast milk again to the baby. Just make sure that if you can, please get a washcloth, make it damp every time you're breastfeeding a baby. Rinse or wipe your breast milk well, clean it, and air it. You can air dry it in the sunlight. Then the next feed, you also do the same. It might be hard, but it's very, very important, and it's very, very necessary. We don't want our baby to get infections. That's it from breastfeeding. Kindly let me know what you've done, what has worked for you, what hasn't, in the comment section. I will really, really appreciate. And thanks for listening. Bye.